Couch fam, waiver wire fanatics, welcome to the final waiver wire video. These are my week 17 players to add off waivers. They're ranked and they're for every single position. Let's go. If you're in the championship game, congrats to you. Last week I predicted to be the craziest week in fantasy this year, and it was. Made it in a couple of leagues. Not quite the outcome I wanted, but hey, I'm still thankful that I'm in the championship game. And thank you for watching, and congrats. Let's finish off the job. For quarterbacks, you want to go get Mike White. We love him. He's got a good matchup. He's named the starter for the rest of the year. Zach Wilson is inactive, so Joe Flacco will be the QB2. Tua is in concussion protocol yet again. Almost a 0 chance that he's going to play this week, and he may not play after this week as well. He's had multiple concussions this year. Quite a concern there for him. After that, you don't want to start any of these guys unless you're in a super flex league. We got the Broncos quarterback going to need to throw the ball against the Chiefs. We know the Chiefs offense is hot fire. They put up a lot of points in a hurry. Mac Jones, that is the wrong matchup. Oh, I thought I fixed all these. That was last week. This week he is facing Miami. Not the best defense. Yep, they are in home. So Mac Jones is going against the Dolphins. Colt McCoy in concussion protocol should return this week going against the Falcons. That'll be a low scoring game, and you don't want to start too many players from that game. And then we got Carson Wentz here. Lost his job basically to injury, kind of. I don't know. It's been a messy situation here. He hasn't been horrible this year, though. He might get his job back. I don't think so, but nonetheless, there is a chance he could be named the starter at some point this year. We'll see. I think they're going to roll with Tyler Heineke, though. At running back, you definitely want to add these top two guys. That's Tyler Algier, who I've been hating on the entire year and hated on him as a prospect, but he's been solid and he's been looking better. He's not the best running back or anything like that, but he's getting a good amount of touches. He's getting a good amount of snaps, and they like to run the ball. They like to use the running backs, and there's not a whole lot of running backs left on this depth chart other than Algier and, of course, Cordell Patterson, who could be a sneaky start this week against the Cardinals. James Cook, obviously, he's already added in most of your leagues. Chuba Hubbard is looking like a solid running back for the Panthers. Him and Deontay Foreman could be started every week moving forward. Only 1 week left, though. I know that. Gus Bus is still relevant. Khalil Herbert should see a little bit increase in snaps and touches. Zach Moss is the starter for the Colts. I was right. Deion Jackson is the PPR running back. Bad news, though. I was also dead wrong. Deion Jackson, 0 carries last game. The Colts are a complete mess. So you don't want to really be starting too many Colts players, but Zach Moss is the workhorse running back, and workhorse is a positive term. I don't even want to use terms like that with the Colts. We want to use strictly negative terms when we're talking about Indy. Royce Freeman gets the most carries out of the Texans backfield, and there is a small chance that the Titans rest Derrick Henry. Now, he did practice today, was supposedly injured, probably super minor injury. But here's what I do know. There's a chance that Derrick Henry doesn't play. Maybe it's small, maybe it's tiny. I don't know. There's always a chance. I heard that he has a little bit of an injury. Also, the Titans, this game, week 17, is not going to matter for them. So the only game that matters for the Titans to win, since they lost against the Texans this past week, they got to win week 18 versus the Jags. So this game doesn't matter. We know Derrick Henry's got a lot of carries this year. Maybe they rest him. Hassan Haskins would get a lot of touches, and Dontrell Hilliard's out of the picture. All right, so if Henry doesn't play, definitely boost up Hassan Haskins quite a bit. Brandon Cooks, he's all of a sudden relevant again. You can start a random Texans wide receiver against the Jags D. Jags D hasn't been horrible this year. but I still don't think they're elite or anything like that. And my sleeper ad of the week is going to be Romeo Doubs with one condition. That's if Christian Watson is out. Now, Christian Watson is day-to-day with a minor injury, has a good chance to play this week. But if he is out, I would go ahead and add Romeo Doubs and feel comfortable starting him against the Vikings. He just returned back from injury. He's getting more snaps. He's getting more targets. It's pretty obvious he's going to be one of the staple wide receivers moving forward for this team. But if Christian Watson is there, too many targets, too many weapons. I don't think he's going to get enough target share for me to be that comfortable to start him. He'd be more of a sleeper or a low upside start. But if Christian Watson is out, targets go up, touchdown potential goes up. I like Romeo Doubs this week in a sneaky shootout against the Vikings. If you can't get those two, look for a random Giants wide receiver. So if I had to rank these three, I had to. It's like almost impossible. It's almost impossible. Don't even worry about my rankings really too much for wide receiver, to be honest. But if I had to rank the three Giants wide receivers, I go number 1, Slayton, number 2, Hodgins, and number 3, Richie James. Rashid Shaheed, the only wide receiver left on the Saints by default. He's a good ad and a deep league start, I assume. Demarcus Robinson, number 1 wide receiver for the Ravens. Greg Dortch all of a sudden is back in action. He put up like 40 times as many fantasy points as DeAndre Hopkins. Congrats to him. How the heck did that happen? And at number 7, we have Van Jefferson, probably the wide receiver 1 for the Rams. Again, I don't want to use that term. He's a wide receiver for the Rams. I don't even want to call him wide receiver 1. Surprise, surprise, Cam Akers blew up, and so did Tyler Higbee this past week. Tyler Higbee, a great ad. In the land of tight ends, or lack of tight ends, Tyler Higbee's a good start. If you can't get him, look for Cole Kmet, Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, and in deeper leagues, Tyler Conklin or Cade Otton. For defenses, try to get one of these top 2 defenses. That's going to be the Chiefs or Giants. If you can't get them, go get the Chargers or Jags. And in deeper leagues, we have the Jets D, Steelers D, Falcons D, Commanders defense, Patriots D, Cardinals D, Lions D, Dolphins D, Panthers D, and Seahawks D for those of you in super deep leagues. For kicker, it's even more simple. Try to get one of these top 4 kickers. So you're going to be looking at Brett Maher, who's been super elite this year, has a great matchup. They'll get in field goal range. They'll get in the red zone a lot. The Cowboys will against the Titans. Lots of extra points and field goal opportunities for Brett Maher, and he's a really good kicker. Graham Gano, one of the most reliable kickers, going up against the Colts. Great matchup. You know the guy's always good for 7-8 fantasy points. Maybe he sneaks in an extra field goal in the fourth quarter, giving him 11 fantasy points, and we like that. When we're looking at kickers, we're aiming to get 8 or more fantasy points from our kickers. Robbie Gould, love him this week against the Raiders. Lots of upside. I told you guys maybe add him last week. I didn't love the matchup, but hey, it worked out. So if you added him last week and you started him, then I think you're going to keep rolling with him, because why else would you have added him last week? He's got a great matchup this week, great matchup next week for those of you that play week 18. And then Cameron Digger again makes this list, going against the Rams, should have a lot of opportunities. If you can't get one of those top 4 defenses, look for the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, Michael Badgley, the Lions kicker. Greg Zuerlein should have a bounce-back game against the Seahawks. Zach Wilson holds the team back. It's true, he does. Even the kicker, and Zach Wilson's not playing anymore. We have the Falcons kicker back on the map, Younghoe Koo. Also Riley Patterson, Greg Joseph, Ryan Suckup, Matt Gay, Nick Folk, Mason Crosby, and Joey Sly at number 15. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys also subscribe to our second YouTube channel, Fantasy Couch Podcast. Couch fam, best fantasy football community. Thank you guys for watching and supporting. Good luck this week. Let's finish the job. Go get that trophy and win the shit, baby.